Hi everyone, I'm Narjeet from Lean Apps, and today I'm going to talk about products and why 90% of all new products fail. I will also talk about steps companies like Google, Amazon and Netflix takes to launch so many successful products. To launch a new product, you need 3 ingredients: team, a product and a right market. Before we go into the video, please do leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. The number one reason for failure of new products is that the teams build products for which there is no market. In other words, they lack product market fit. There are essentially 4 steps you can take to take an idea to a product market fit. Step 1, lean startup experimentation. The purpose of this step is to validate whether the problem you're trying to solve is worth solving. You're also trying to find for which customer segment this problem is the biggest. And how do you do this? You do this via experimentation. These experiments are like customer interviews, landing pages with your value proposition, and then you bring some traffic onto these landing pages via ads. Sometimes you do this via design prototypes or some explainer videos. Dropbox did this with a product demo video before they actually built the product. And this was just a screen record from the CEO, and it went viral and increased their beta sign-up from 5,000 to 75,000 overnight. This is very powerful. You keep experimenting in this step until you have validated your problem and customer segment. Most entrepreneurs and product managers we work with totally skip this step. Now that you have a validated problem and customer segment, you want to validate your solution. And you can validate your solution using Google Design Sprints. Google Design Sprint is a process used by Google Ventures and companies like Uber, Slack, and Microsoft. It's a 5-day process where everyone comes together to have a deep understanding of the problem they're trying to solve. Once that is done, they map the user journey of the user, and then everybody curates lots and lots of solutions to solve the problem. Basically, everybody in the team is sketching. Once that is done, they vote on the best solutions and try to come up with a prototype by the end of 4th day. On the 5th day, they present this prototype to the real users, basically the customer segment which you validated in step number 1, and test the prototype with these users. Remember, at this stage, you're not writing any code. You're just using prototype to test the solution at a very, very fast pace. You might need 2 to 3 iterations of design sprint to really validate the complete solution. Step 3 is product development to product market fit. Here you have 2 goals: to launch the first version of the product, also called as MVP, minimum viable product, and then acquire first early adopters or the first users for the product. This will eventually lead to product market fit. You can use Scrum to launch the first version of the product in 6 to 8 weeks and just concentrate on 1 or 2 features. Then you can acquire some first early adopters or first customers on this product. Now you will learn about customer behavior in 2 ways. 1, you can see who is active users and inactive users and try to interview these active and inactive users separately. And on the other side, you can also use data analytics, what you have built on the product, to see the customer behavior and see what features and what steps they are taking on the product. Based on this data, you're going to iterate the product until you're able to answer these questions. Who is using your product? Which features are mostly used? How often are they using the product? So who are those active users? Why are they using your product? And how can the existing users or the active users be converted into paying customers? You will live at this stage for quite some time. It can take any time between 6 months to 12 months to answer all the questions. Lots of entrepreneurs and product managers fall into the trap of sales and acquiring more and more users at this stage. Remember, at this stage, you're not trying to scale up your marketing or scale up your sales and acquire more users. You're just trying to answer all the unknown questions and trying to get the formula to scale. Step 4 is growth. This is where your sales and marketing will become really, really active. The goal of this step is to acquire and activate as many users as possible while spending as little as possible. So you'll be running lots and lots of experiments around growth hacking for acquisition, activation, and retention of the users. Do check the description or the comment of this video. Here we've added the links to each step with an example of the output from each step. This will be really helpful for you. To summarize, every step is about experimentation with your customer involved. Don't jump the steps. That can be fatal. Most people dive straight into developing the product and then struggle in scaling up. They usually end up with no traction and burn their cash on product development and paid marketing. Don't do that. Your key principle should be move further only if the data says so. In our next video, we're going to deep dive into each of these steps. Do leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening and have a nice day.